I begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Today is day 50 of the Grand Australian Ride. It's the last day of the trip. Today I rode from Port Melbourne to Shiv Vishnu Temple in Carrum Downs. That's where I completed the journey. The date is 18th of June 2022. The time it took me was 1 hour. The weather was clear, a little cold as it was winter morning in Melbourne. The distance I rode was 65 kilometers. The terrain was plain and mainly flat and urban roads. I didn't have to fuel up because it was a very short trip and I had fueled up yesterday. And this was the last day, last stop, and in this ride I complete the Grand Australian Ride. So it's day 50 and we are in Melbourne. We are in Spirit of Tasmania. The ship has already docked. We're about to get on our bikes, which are downstairs on level 5, I think. Today is the last day of the trip. We arrived from Devonport via Spirit of Tasmania to Melbourne. So we are in Port Melbourne right now. The plan for the day is to ride from here to Shiv Vishnu Temple. That's the point where I started my journey about I think 50 days back. So we will be getting there. The distance is around 49 kilometers and we are really excited. We've got a lot of people waiting over there and I'm very excited to meet everyone. So see you on the road soon. Bikes now and starting. So Om Ganeshaya Namah, Shri Adisakti Mata Ki Jai, Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Ki Jai, Har Har Mahadev Har. So it's 6:50. We are already behind. Let's get started. So getting off the ship now. Back in Melbourne and very excited. We've obviously done this from Port Melbourne, but they say in the future the ship won't be docking over here anymore. It will be docking in Geelong. So if you're in Melbourne, it will be a slightly longer ride for you.
Turn right onto Waterfront Place.
But if you love bikes, you wouldn't complain, I guess. We just met Shane, a very nice gentleman, motorcycle enthusiast and also riding a Hemi as well. He came to see us over here, was kind enough to come this early in the morning, and we were a bit behind schedule as well, so we had to wait.
Turn right onto Station Street.
But yeah, looking forward to and had a quick interesting chat with him. Now he's joining us until the temple. So looking forward to the ride. Yeah, it's the final 50 kilometers of the journey. Feels good to be back in Melbourne. I was back in Melbourne 3 days ago, but you know, this time it's different. This time it's actually back in Melbourne.
Turn left onto Bay Street, State Route 30.
When I look at the signs, I still look for an you know, Highway 1. Become so used to looking at Highway 1 for such a long time. When I just saw the sign, I was like, oh, 1, I go that way. But nah, it's all done. Melbourne is waking up to this beautiful day. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning and a Saturday. And I guess that was Neil. Looks like everyone is getting together over here. It's hard to hold all that excitement. When I started the journey, there was a lot of nervousness because I had only done like 350 kilometers in a day max, and that was all the riding I did for that week. So first challenge was to ride every day, because after riding one day, you know, you'll get tired and you don't want to ride the next day. But riding every day was the first one. And the second one was riding long distance, because some of the distances had to be like 500-600 kilometers as well. So yeah, but since then, after all of this, I've done it. Finally पहुंची गया. So we are here after 50 days of riding. What an experience. Hello?
આગળના સ્ટોપ રહેજો ને ઢોલી આવશે. We need 5 minutes હજુ prepare કરો.
ઓકે ઓકે.
હા.
અહીંયા હું ટેમ્પલના દરવાજા પાસે. હા
અંદર આવો તમે જે ગણેશ ટેમ્પલ અને મેઇન ટેમ્પલ વચ્ચેની જોઈશે ને ત્યાંથી આવો તમારે.
હા તો હું આ ઓલો બધી ક્વાર્ટર્સ નથી બધા રહે છે ત્યાં ઊભો છું.
હવે હજી આગળ આવી જાઓ તમે.
ઓકે હા હા સારું હા Court 5 minutes. 2 minutes wait here. Yeah. Two minutes. Huh? હવે જવાનું. હા. Okay. Let's. Yeah. Finally here. Oh, that's Arjun. Can't believe it's already done. Finally home. The trip is over now. So the recording I'm doing is actually the day after I arrived here yesterday. After reaching the temple, there was a couple of doorways and a lot of music and everything, and we had like about 15-20 people who came to see, who came to meet up, and we basically, it was a bit of a celebration, and we did puja at the temple and called it a day. Came home and just rested. So just wanted to give you a brief on today. So overall today was just a very small ride, more of a celebration than riding. And very kind, obviously Shane came to see us as well, which was very kind of him. He came at the port and rode with us. Now the trip is essentially over. I thought I might as well use this video to put in a few things that I found about the trip, which I think everyone or anyone could use. A few points on my experience on the trip. Number one, if you love to ride motorcycle and if you're in Australia, I think this is one of the things you should do for sure. The route I took, it's very straightforward and easy. There is nothing difficult about it in terms of, this is my opinion. Anyone can do this route with any motorcycle. I went along with Royal Enfield Himalayan. Even if you go on a sports bike, you can still do this route, not a problem. Third, in terms of time frame, I would say allow for this time. What I did was 50 days, and my total ride, obviously I had rest days as well. One in Adelaide, one in Perth, Sydney, and Cairns. So 4 rest days out of the whole trip. So you can say I practically finished the trip in 46 days. Plus, if you take the days I took for, the last day I actually only rode 50 kilometers. So taking that into account, only 45 days. Essentially, if you call finishing the trip in Hobart, then I did it in much less days, and the number of kilometers is larger as well. But essentially, I would say take 3 days and 4 days, 7 days, about 43 days I finished the loop. Now, if you were to ride more distance than this, I did between 300 and 600 kilometers. If you were to do maybe 400 to 1000 kilometers or 800 kilometers, if you're comfortable with it, then you will do it in a much less time. So you essentially need around 43 to 45 days to do the loop of Australia. If you want to do Tasmania, allow more time for that. If you need to take rest in between, that's something that I will highly recommend at those times. So there you go. Now I will try and make a very precise video about the whole trip on everything, every element. Because if I'm talking like this, I'll probably end up talking longer and not give more precise information. So I'll try and make a video very precise to the point on every element of the trip. Otherwise, until then, I hope you have enjoyed the videos. I enjoyed my ride and I enjoyed recording everything. I'll try and share everything on YouTube videos as well as on my website grandxp.com, which I am working on right now. So I should have it ready soon as well. But until then, until the next trip or the next adventure, see you.